Okay, hello everyone. My name is Noga. I'm very excited to be here today. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, about my family, and how October 7th reflected our lives and changed our lives from upside down. So first of all, this is my family. This is me, as you see. This is Liron, my husband. Itai is 10 years old. Yaeli, she is 8 years old. And Leah, she is 3 years old. Yeah, they're right now with him, so good luck for him. Until October 7th, everything was normal. We were a regular family. That was October 6th. We were sitting on the grass, having a Shabbat, Kabbalat Shabbat all together with the community. We were very gathering in the community, and you know that doing this presentation as well. So on October 7th, my husband got a phone call that he has to go to the army. And we didn't realize what's going on. We didn't know where he goes. We didn't know anything. That was really shocked. So all the illustrations that you're going to see during this presentation are taken from my book, Mom, When Will It End? I will extend more about that. All the illustrations were made by Dvorah Grindel. She is the illustrator. So we didn't know for how long he's going to go. We didn't know where he's going to go. We didn't know what he's going to do. I knew he's a combat, but I didn't know exactly what he's going to do. And the most important thing that I didn't know whether or not he will come back at all. And with that thought, I had to start my journey almost 300 days without my husband during the recent year. And what I'm doing on a daily basis, I'm a parenthood consultant. I help children and adults to empower themselves, to better communicate their needs, because I believe that relationships is the basis, communication is the basis of relationships. So this is what I do. I empower the children. I help them to understand themselves, to inner reflection themselves. So I thought, if that experience will help me, maybe will help me to survive this crazy time. And then I thought, I can do something meaningful. I have the knowledge, I have the experience, I have the tools, I have the method. I can help other people in this situation because I'm not alone. There are 300,000 families in that day that were recruited, and I have something to give. So this is why I decided to write the book, to help other families to succeed, to survive this crazy time and uncertainty reality. So this is my husband, Liron, and on the usual thing that he's doing on a daily basis work, he's an accountant, he's a CFO, but all of a sudden he became a combat soldier, and that is his uniform from that point. But once my husband was called to the IDF, he was not the only one that had to be recruited. We became, in one moment, a reservist family. We all needed to be in a mission. He was in the front lines, but we had the home front. And the home front is really important that we will stay strong for him, because he is worried about us, but he needs to worry about his life and about the citizens and about the country, and he must know that we are okay. I had to reflect all the time that we are okay, even though I wasn't. So in my past, I was also an officer in the army. I started as an intelligence officer, and then I became responsible for some logistic unit. And that skills really helped me to manage this front home, because I just want you to understand, we were after 2 months summer vacation. Then it was the holiday, all the Tishrei holiday. And then we had the work. We were like around 7 weeks without school. And that was really hard to manage. I have 3 kids that just, their father just left, and we all were in uncertainty reality, and everything was so chaotic. So I sat with my children, and I had to make a decision. I don't have control on the reality, but I do have control on my thoughts, and I can choose. I can choose what will be the perspective and what will be the attitude and the approach I'm going to deal with that chaos. Because I always have the choice. And when I did that decision with myself, I could empower myself and my kids. Although it was a challenge, okay? It wasn't easy. And I wanted to show you a brief of the challenges that we had to cope with. So I've been a mother and a father, and I had to take these roles. Sometimes it was okay, but sometimes it was not okay. I mean, this is his job to throw the trash, right? I mean, why I should do that? So I had like a lot of bags, and he's buying the bread for the morning. So it was one day I was stuck, and it was 7 a.m. in the morning, and I took another job because as an independent, it was very hard for me to manage my clinic, so I went to work at school, and I combined my business a little bit with as an employee, and I was also self-employed and not self-employed. And I remember I had to be at school at 8 o'clock, and at 7:15 in the morning there is no bread, and it's winter, and I need to take my 3 little kids right now to the supermarket to buy bread. I mean, what do you do in that situation? And I was still breastfeeding there, and the kid, she has tantrum, and what do I do? I mean, and this is just a small example of daily basis stuff that we don't even think about that. It's like very usual stuff, right? So in all the summer vacation, my husband was in Gaza. All the Tishrei holidays, he was in Lebanon, and everything was all of a sudden. I mean, we tried to rebuild our relationship, but every time he was called again. And that was our routine. Every 2 months, until the moment we really felt that, okay, now we're okay, they called it back, and we had like regression. Everyone had regression. So the questions of the kids were very, extremely hard. It were like, sometimes was like regular, I will show you that, don't worry. Regular question for what are we going to eat today, or sometimes it was really tough questions. That's my kitchen, and this is laundry and everything. You can see the mess. This is a simple task, but in daily basis, it's like, okay, I will just do it. But when my mind was so busy with, what about my husband? Really, is he dead? Something happened. Oh my God, I'm all the time with my mobile checking the messages if something happened. Maybe it happens in his area. Oh, I see the news. All the time was stress. And I really remember that. I can really feel that stress right now when I'm talking to you. Just remember how stressed it was just to worry all the time that my husband maybe will not come back. And what do I say to the kids? And I had like really terrible dreams that I think you will be the first one, I will say that. I remember I lost my voice. I was sick. And I just thought, if something will happen to him, who will say, who will give the other people to talk? I mean, that's what I thought. I have to pick someone that I trust that will say exactly, this is a crazy thought. It's not a normal thought. This is the first time I'm telling that. So thank you for holding that with me. So this is simple task that became really hard. And this is the illustration that really describes the monster of the laundry. And all the questions that Yaeli, she's telling all the story. I choose to use her perspective to tell the story. I thought that will help me to cope better with reality, because children see the reality more simple than us. We just make everything complicated, and I really needed simple and optimistic and point of view. So I used her to talk and to tell from her perspective. So she all the time asked me question, when his dad is coming back, when the war will over, when we'll get back to school, when everything will go back to normal. And she also asked me, all the kids asked me if our dad can die. I mean, is that a normal thought for a 7-year-old kid? I don't think so. I all the time had to reflect different feelings than what I felt inside of me. I needed to show them that everything is okay, but when I didn't feel that way at all, I was frightened and I didn't find hope inside of me, and I need all the time to look inside of me, to look over and over again. How can I find like a spotlight, something that will give me some hope? It was really hard, and kids feel, they know when we lie. He couldn't open, he couldn't get to Gaza with his mobile, so I just, for 19 days, 14 days, 17 days, talking to myself, no one to argue with. I mean, I needed someone to come just to argue with me. Just, why did you put that here? And why didn't you buy that? I miss that so much. So, yeah, I was like chatting with myself and waiting for the second V. And at any given moment, I had a constant fear that someone will knock on my door. And knocking on my door means that there are some bad news, not good news. And it happens one day. I was sitting in my clinic room. It's inside of my house. And I haven't heard from him for like 17 days. And all I had in my mind that is either I will see a second V, or someone will knock on my door. I mean, it's like binary, like live or dead. That's my thought. And I was sitting in my clinic, and all of a sudden I heard, and I got up from the chair, and I just walked, and I thought in every step I step, that I'm gonna get a message that's gonna change my life. Like these steps will be the different from, I'm gonna see something, I'm gonna see a soldier, and just imagine a bad scenario. That was the neighbor. She wanted some milk. But it took me all day to get back to myself. And it's still traumatized. I can still hear the knock. I dreamt about the knocks. It was like a phantom. I felt like it is. Then I thought, this is a long journey. I must find inner strength inside of me because I can't be like that. I need to function, right? There is life, and no one really understands what's going on outside because we live that. So, but I need to function. I have 3 little kids, and I need to hold the house. So I took myself together and I just spoke with myself. I have an inner dialogue, and I decided to take what I do on a daily basis. I help other people to see the reality in a different point of view, because I can't change the reality, but I can change the way I look at that. And when I change the way I look at things, the things are changed. I didn't say that. It's a quote. But I really connected to that sentence. So I chose my approach, my perspective, my thoughts, my feeling, everything I do have control, everything I can handle it myself. And I gave emotional legitimacy to my children, and we had every evening we spoke about our feeling. I encouraged them to talk, that they won't feel alone with their feelings. And we just stick to what we know, and we stick to the positive perspective, and we look in our inner strength. And we knew that we cope with the fear by with humor. It was a serious, and we were afraid, so we just laughed about that, like doing something funny with the kids because they need something simple and easy. This is my dad. He came to visit us sometimes, and it was helpful. And we knew that we were not alone. We also help others because we found that help others bring us the strength. So we realized the power of the community. We helped people that evacuate from their houses in the north. So our family, me and my kids, we just found an empty place, and all the neighborhood came and we all helped them. So we cleaned the house and we brought some candies, and they became a new family for 2 months. We just lived right next to door. We celebrate birthday together. They also arrived to school with us. The principal invited them to study with us. So we are really like a big family. And I realized that I'm not alone. There are so many women as I present today that are dealing with the same situation. And I decided also to help the women because we need to be strong. So I wrote 2 books that will help them and give them power to deal with this chaotic situation. I knew that I can have the way to help them to express the place where they feel speechless. I could help them to express their feelings. And as I said, it's not just my story. This is the story of many Israelis families who struggle this daily basis. We have only in Hadera, we have thousands families like that, 250 with little children, and in all Israel we have 300,000. I know it looks like a huge number, but still, this is most of the time the same people, like going over and over again. And we struggle and we need our strength because even the war will over, we still have to deal with the consequences of that. We still need to learn ourselves in a new dynamic. I need to get to know again my husband. He needs to know again who I am, and the children needs to know their father. Luckily, he's there right now, so they can rebonding. This is how I connect to the partnership. I realized that some of the activities that we had, it was thanks to you. Because the partnership really helped us to go through this summer vacation. We didn't have a camp, so we had some workshop with chocolate and clay and swimming pool and pizza and ice cream and cinema. So we had so much activities that helped us to survive this summer when my husband was in Gaza, and not just mine, as I said. So this is the Anchor. The Anchor is the non-profit organization that worked with the partnership together. This is how I felt really grateful that we have this option. We knew that we are not alone, that someone sees us overseas. So we are not alone. I can get a hug. I know that someone sees me, even that maybe you don't understand exactly what I'm going through, but you support me. So you do something that is really meaningful, and I can do something meaningful for other people, and it's a circle. So this is really a circle of giving. This is the reunion after a long time that he came from Lebanon, and we were so happy to meet him. This is a huge hug that gives us a lot of hope and strength to move on. And this is us today, trying to get better and remember that we are stronger than we think we are. But as I said, our story is still continuing. Thank you very much.